Exactly. So let's talk about Tesla. Let's talk about why Tesla is a great stock right now. Let's talk about trading in Tesla stock. Let's understand where I went wrong, and hopefully I'm able to catch up here, right? So basically, what we're talking about is the fact that on October 7th, I invested, I did a call. I figured, you know what? October 10th is coming. Therefore, we're going to have some positive news on Tesla. Therefore, we're going to do great. They came out, they showed the robo taxi, they showed the bus with the people coming out of them, 20 people. With all this without a driver and without a driving wheel. Imagine, right? Then what they showed is the robots running around and serving people's drink. And then a few days later, there was the ship, right? That they were able to catch it. It was a feat of engineering. They had this thing that flew up in the sky, and then they brought it back, and they grabbed it. I mean, it was amazing. But guess what? The market looked at it and said, yeah, you're talking, you're promising, and as usual, nothing is going to come out of it. So, and you know what? The stock went from $240 to almost like $219, less than that, went as low as 212. So there's a lot to be said here. There's a lot to be said about the market. There's a lot to be said about, how does this market really operate? Because Tesla today released its earnings, and oh my God, look at this. This is a great company all over again. The stock was up, and I'm looking at my numbers right now. The stock was down, like 1.98% before the close, at the close today, but after the close, 4 o'clock, 4:30. And before the 5:30 Eastern Standard Time, before the 5:30 earnings release, the stock went up 12%. We are now, if I'm looking at my latest numbers, in fact, you know what? Let's take a look at it. Let me share with you what's going on with Tesla right now. Right. So this morning, right? This was this morning, 218, down, all the way down to 13. Right. Now, obviously, as you could see, this is important. This is important. This is a bit of technical analysis here, but I want you guys to understand what technical analysis is about. You see what's going on here? Look, you see like oversold, 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 right? This is the RCI, a relative strength indicator, basically telling you that this thing is oversold in big time, all right? And then basically, and then what happens? This is what happens, right? At 4 p.m., we were at 216. Then look at this, 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 look at this. We went all the way. In fact, I think we are now, I mean, this is 240. We hit 240 at one point. Why is 240 important? Well, it's important because, and again, let's take a look at the chart. It's important because if you go back to October 7th, where we got killed, see this? I mean, October 10th, I'm sorry, when we got killed here, right here. Now, this thing was up $250 at one point, okay? Even higher than that, okay? It got killed on that day, and then it got killed again on the 11th, and then it was in no man's land for the longest time, and then get killed again 21st. Now, why? Well, because what's happening in the market also is forget the, and like I always said, right? It's about the market first, and the market story right now is not so much what's going on with inflation. Nobody cares about that because it's under control. We do not have a recession. Okay, let's forget this idea. So then the market is focusing on the earnings of the companies coming out for this quarter, right? For the third quarter. and it wants to see proof that we paid a lot for those companies with a high P ratio. So now we want to see, and you're seeing it. Of course, today you didn't see it. Today you didn't see it because McDonald had some issue with the onions. Okay, not funny, but that wasn't good. Starbucks didn't really deliver that much, but then again, it's the beginning. Boeing had a problem, and the market said, "You know what? I said I want earnings. I don't like what I see. Boom." And in fact, it kept dumping on Tesla as well because it was disappointed. But Tesla really um, surprised everyone. Well, not me. I mean, mistake I would say that I made, right, on October 7th. I said, well, that's when I invested with around $240. I said, well, the robo taxi. I mean, this is a great company. This is a fantastic company. What is wrong with this company? It's a great company, so I think that we should be doing great. But instead, decided, you know what, we don't like it. We don't like it. With the earnings are not strong enough, so we're going to dump all over it, and that's what happened. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, the market. But again, you need to understand here. Let's not try to predict anything. Let's try to understand the way the market thinks. Right, as you could see, the market is very emotional. Right, the market wants to see something. The market wants to know that earnings are going to be there. The market also wants to make sure that the election is going to be okay. So they're worried about that. And the market, obviously, the market wants lower rates. So the market wants lots of things, right, in this process. And that's why I mean that, investing in the stock market is really, really about understanding the story. What is a story that's being told? Imagine that the market is like a child, and basically you need to understand, and he needs to talk to the child and tell him what he wants. So obviously the child is very happy right now, extremely happy. I mean, you know what? 25% in one day. Okay. Those options are going to explode. So let me show you what I did, right? So let me share with you my pin channel here. Okay. So basically, I said it like, today, this morning, I said, this is oversold, people. This is oversold. Okay. But then if you go back to October 7th, what I did is I put a position on Tesla, right? Right here. And basically, what we did is we did that, right? We bought a contract. We bought a January 17, just in case I thought we were wrong. Okay, 9 contract at $5.20, and so that's what we did. So we're going to look at tomorrow what's happening. I think I'm going to write this thing. We have until January, so we should be good. So next thing we need to know is, well, okay, what you keep telling us about the earnings. What does it actually looks like? Well, this is what it looks like. Look at this. Okay, this is important. Third quarter, automotive revenues up 2%. Okay, energy generation up 52%. I mean, it's mostly cars right now, but look at the growth. Service and other revenue 29%. Now, keep in mind that deliveries are ahead of schedule. Okay, total revenues are up 8%, gross profit 20%. Um, Look at operating expenses are down 6%. Look at the adjusted EBITDA. This is kind of the cash that they're making. They were making 3.7 billion last year. Now they're making 4.6, $24 billion. Where's the $24 billion coming from? Well, basically, we got ourselves about some money here, right? And no, some money here, right? Total revenues up 8%, right? So we went from 23 to 25. We almost made 2 billion, right? We're looking for, and then of course we lower expenses by 2.4 to 2.2. So we have about 200. So that's where your 3.7 to your 4.6 come from, mostly from lower expensive and higher cost. This is 4.6 billion every single quarter. The margin is 18%. Okay, this is not a car company, people. This is something else, and we're not even talking about the robots. We're not talking about the possibility of having I mean, the robots alone are going to be a fantastic. We are not thinking about the space one that they have, SpaceX, right? And free cash flow went from 800 million to 2.7.24 billion. I mean, this is fantastic. This is right. So that's what I mean. That's what it takes to invest in the stock market. You need to understand what you're buying. In the case of Tesla, you've got to wonder, wow, I mean, this is a great company. You got to wonder, where did they get the knowledge and the expertise? Well, you've got Elon Musk. Elon Musk is there. The issue, obviously, that we had, and that's too bad, is the fact that he's close to Trump. I don't. Doesn't matter which way you're leaning, but obviously 50% of the country wants him, and 50% don't want him. And we'll see exactly what happened on November 6th. But the point is, some people might have been turned off by the fact that you know he's with Trump. But then people forget really quickly, because this company obviously is going to be extremely volatile, right? And I said that before over and over and over. Tesla is volatile, but that's okay. You still could make lots of money with Tesla. You could make money with Tesla because it's volatile. Look what happened. We went from 240 down to 215, back to 240. Yeah, I know. What's the secret? Well, the secret, you need to understand how the market thinks, right? I was off by, I was off on October 10. I should have waited. So what do we do now? What we do now, right? We're not going to unwind and sell tomorrow morning. We're gonna let it fester, because now what you have is you got the uncertainty about the you have the uncertainty about the elections, right? Election is November 6th. This call expires in January of next year. Let's ride this sucker right through. You have to have conviction. You need to know what you're buying. You need to understand the market. The market is going to move back and forth, right? And then imagine what's going to happen once the Fed actually lower rates. So what is a target for something like Tesla? So it's at 240. What do we do now? What do we wait 300? What do we wait? Well, what you're going to need to see is you're going to probably going to retrace, some of the better prices of the year. And if I look very quickly, I think earlier this year, this thing was up to $260. Was it higher than that in July? Yeah, 270. So we're talking $270 for Tesla, 260, 250, 240. So between 40 and 70. Now, if tomorrow it's 70, now obviously now the signals, the overboard signals are flashing red, right? Because now this is a huge increase. Okay. But then again, it's a relief. I mean, don't forget, understand what you're buying, and you could see what you're buying. And they're saying that basically by next year, the robotaxi is going to be operational. They're going to get approvals. The numbers are there. They're able to manage. Everybody was saying, well, you know what? Tesla is he Trump? Is he with, is he with Trump on the trail? I mean, he's out there promoting Trump. Is he managing the company? Listen, he's not building the cars. He's the brain behind the operation. He has all these ideas. But that's what you have to focus on. Who has the ideas? Who understand what's going on? And that's the important thing. So what you want to do, you want to make sure you understand what the context is. And right now, the context is beautiful. You have low rates. You have a great company with great products. Of course, the thing that you have against you is that they're not looking at it obviously as a car company. Otherwise, this would be a disaster. They're looking at it as something else. Don't forget, the P ratio is very high. It's even higher than NVIDIA. But then again, we're not making chips. We are making cars. We are making robots. We are kind of an AI firm. We are also uh, building ships to go, to Mars. We're doing lots of things. And I said in a previous video, that if the robots that we have take off, right? This is $1 trillion company, even more than that. And he said it too in his speech. So Tesla is got lots of surprise. I mean, there's nothing like this company. I know Nvidia is okay and it's a AI, blah blah blah, but Tesla is doing fantastic things. And you know what? Remember what I said? The time to buy is when everybody else is selling. Who bought last week? Who bought the way before? Do not sell. Buy when it's down. But so the way you make money in the stock market is that you need to understand how it operates and what is the story. But the only way for you to understand what the story is that you need to study it, right? Don't listen to what people are telling you, and you can't investing in the market. There's so many stocks, you can't possibly understand all of them. You need to focus. You got to be like a doctor. You need to focus on a couple of stocks and understand how they move, understand what's going on, right? With Tesla right now, I'm learning. It's like with a child, how the child is running to run the bikes. You kind of have a feeling for what's running. Of course, you need to understand the market, but right now the market conditions are not so bad. The trick I will have to warn you against, right, is the fact that I'm hearing more and more discussion about the debt. Now, that's going to be a problem. So here we're dealing in options, right? We're going in and out, in and out, in and out. Long term, I got to be very honest with you. I'm very concerned about the national debt. The more we talk about this, and we know we have no solution unless you want to take a pay cut, unless you want to get more money on unemployment, unless you want to get more taxes. Nobody wants to hear about that. This is not something I want to hear right now. I want to hear good things, right? So right now it's okay. They're thinking about the elections. Looks like Trump is on his way out. He's not on his way out. He's going to win. I mean, according to the market, because they're assuming that based on this policy, with the tariffs, that's going to be inflationary, right? Because you're going to raise the prices. So they're already positioning themselves that way because they think he's going to win. Let's see. We don't know. But the point is, when to make money in the stock market, you need to understand what you're investing in. You need to understand the market and you need to understand the players. That is very important. But be your own player. Be the one that understand how things run. Okay. So good news. Let's watch Tesla tomorrow. Let's see what happens. And you could take that money to the bank tomorrow, I guess.